Hey there friends and enemies, Trophy here again, and today we got the reveal of every card arriving in the beginner box for the Avatar The Last Airbender set in Magic the Gathering, and it's exactly as described. It's the perfect place for someone new to Magic to check out the game, and I really enjoyed the one from Foundations as I was bringing my wife and son into Magic for the very first time, and it allowed us to experiment with some brand new decks, learn some of the rules, and go over some of the new mechanics that have been introduced in my time away. So I do think if you are somebody who is a fan of Avatar and want to get into Magic for the very first time, this is the perfect place to start. So I also want to go over the cards that we've gotten a sneak peek at, because you can't find them anywhere else, and there might be some cards that you're looking to pick up. As always, you can buy singles or you can pick up this entire bundle. I believe it was on Amazon for about $30, which is not that bad considering you're getting almost 150 cards, and some of them are actually quite good. Now, you can find all of your favorite characters like Aang, Appa, and a bunch of other unique cards in here as well. This first deck is going to essentially have all your fan favorites from Aang, Appa, like I mentioned. You've also got Momo, Katara, and Soku. Now, the only thing you're really missing right there is going to be Toph, but we'll see her in a little bit. Then you've got the Zuko tutorial deck. This one has Zuko, Iroh, who's my personal favorite character. You've also got a couple other interesting cards there as well. And then we got some other decks as well. We got Allies. We've got spells, waterbending, attacking, and then counters. So, and then firebending as well as earthbending, and then big creatures. So, lots of interesting ones. Definitely some cool cards to check out. I'm going to go through quickly all the cards available and kind of highlight the ones that I'm most excited about. Obviously, we have Aang. He's pretty solid overall. A couple cards that are associated with Aang as well. I really like the fact that we're getting a lot of these interesting creatures that are hybrids. We got a sloth beast here, but we'll see a lot more as I go through them, and I kind of want to point them out because they are quite funny. We've got Appa, who's I think a pretty solid card here, giving another creature flying, which could be really good, especially if you're trying to do a lot of commander damage. So that's potentially a card you can pop in some decks there. We've got Katara here, so when she enters, put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control. Again, counter decks could be pretty decent there. She is expensive at 5 mana though. We've got Momo here, and then we've got some other cards as well that you might want to check out. Again, sledding otter penguin here. The cards look really good in my opinion. I do like the mix of creatures here. Is an otter bird, which I think is pretty hilarious. And then we move on. We've got Sokka. 3/3 vigilance, nothing too crazy there. And then we keep moving to Zuko's deck. Dragon Moose, you could actually put this in a dragon deck, which I find to be hilarious, and I might do just because it sounds silly, but it is 3/3 with haste, nothing too crazy there. Fire Nation Soldier, Iroh. Whenever Iroh attacks, attacking creatures get +1/+1 until end of turn. That's not a bad card. Definitely one that I will want to pick up just because I'm a fan. But then we keep moving and we see some more interesting cards here. Zhao, 5/5 with menace, nothing too crazy there. But Zuko, this is a card that I think could be very, very good and might be pretty sought after. 5 mana, fairly expensive, but a 4/5 with reach, and whenever you cast a red spell, create a 2/2 red soldier creature token. So if you're in a spell slinger deck, this could be a nice addition to kind of easily pump out creatures while also just slinging spells the whole time. That way you can essentially keep up your defenses while doing damage with your spells. I think that's one of the best cards that we'll see in this entire set. We see Aang again there. Some other interesting cards. These are not bad overall, but some of them are fairly generic, pretty common with cards that we've seen before. A Master Piandao. So we do have a bunch of legendary creatures in this set. So you're going to see the combination that we saw from Final Fantasy maybe expand with Avatar as well, because you have a lot of legendary creatures just like we did with that set, so could be interesting. This is a Rabaro troop with the rabbit kangaroo. Again, I love these combination cards of these multi-creature types. This one has landfall, so whenever land you control enters, these creature gains flying and you gain a life. So For 5 mana, it's fairly expensive. It does have plane cycling, and it's a 3/5. I don't know. I might add it to a landfall deck, but I'm not sure yet. Suki, she's a very popular character as well. Power is equal to the number of creatures you control. Whenever she attacks, create a 1/1 ally token. So if you make an ally deck, could be pretty interesting there. I do feel like that's potentially a very good card that will see some run. Next up, we've got some interesting Geyser Leaper. Nothing too. Iguana Parrot is very funny in my opinion. Idle Quencher was the main one that we saw on the cover here. Again, the art is very good in this set, but some of these cards are solid, if not spectacular. Master Paku has Prowess, which is not bad, especially in for blue. So 2 for a 1/3 is not bad either. And if you're in a Spell Slinger deck, once again, Master Paku could be good. Whenever Master Paku becomes tapped, target player mills X cards, where X is the number of lesson cards in your graveyard. So, not sure how many lesson cards you're going to be using in a deck, but could be good. This one I want to talk about just because it's kind of a beefer Serpent of the past. Again, very lesson focused here. Turtle Seal's very funny. And then Barrels of Blasting Jelly, so you can add 1 mana of any color, activate only once per turn, and then sacrifice this artifact and deal 5 damage. So nothing too crazy there, but not so bad. Now we start to get more of the bending cards, which is what I'm most looking forward to, because I do feel like Aang as the multicolor card that you can get from the main set is interesting, but might be hard to pull off, especially if you don't get bending cards after this set. So I think that's a potential downfall. So you're going to need a lot of them. Flying Dolphin Fish is funny. Giant Koi does water bend. Here we have Katara, who is the bending prodigy. She does have water bending 6, which is very expensive, but at the beginning of your end step, if Katara is tapped, put a +1/+1 counter on her. So essentially you want to tap her as often as possible with that combination. Otter Penguin, again, great. Here we have Sokka. Whenever Sokka and at least one other creature attack, draw a card. Vigilance as well, not bad, but Terror of Serpent's Pass. This is at 8/8 with hexproof. Kind of insane. A nice huge creature for blue. Not sure how much use this will get, but definitely one that I would like to add just as like a massive creature, just because. Now we have attacking. This is going to have the Cat Gator. Again, very funny looking cards here. Let's read that one more time because words fail me. Daily Indoctrination. So not bad here, but nothing too insane. Black seems to be getting the short end of the straw for this set in particular from what I've seen so far. So that is a bit of a bummer, but we'll have to wait and see if any of these end up being really, really good and underrated. But again, I don't see them being too insane. Azula Always Lies is a funny card there. We got another Indoctrination there. Elephant Rat. Again, these combination creatures are... I'm going to make a deck with them for sure just because it sounds hilarious. We got some Fire Nation Sentinels, Hog Monkey, Long Fang, Ozai's Cruelty, and then we get to the Firebending. This is another Zuko card with Firebending 3. This one's fine, 4/3 for 4 mana, not so bad there, but nothing too crazy. Again, lots of Firebending here. So if you're getting Aang and you want to build a deck with him and have a lot of bending cards, this is going to be a good place to start as well. Loyal Fire Sage, again, lots of bending here. Mongoose Lizard, I just love those combinations. They're very, very funny to me. And then we move on to Earthbending. Here we have Toph finally. This is the first time we've seen her in the beginner box. When she enters, you Earthbend 2. And then, this is going to be focused on making your lands creatures and putting +1/+1 counters on her. We got Badger Mole. We got Boomy, the Eclectic Earthbender. He's also going to be doing the same thing with his Earthbending. He's a great character in the show. If you haven't seen it, he is hilarious. Earthbending lesson. Again, if you want bending, this is going to be very good. Explore, so you can play an additional land, but it's only for one turn, which is solid, not too great, but a card that could be useful. Haru Hidden Talent, again focused on allies, and so whenever you have an ally enter, you Earthbend 1. Rocky Rebuke there, not too bad. Big creatures, we got Eelhounds, they're Fish Dog, which is hilarious. Flopsy, this is one of the funniest creatures that we'll get from Avatar. I absolutely love Boomy's buddy. He's very, very good. When he enters, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, and then each creature you control with power 4 or greater can't be blocked by more than one creature. That's kind of insane and could be very useful. We got Hippo Cows. Yeah, they look great. Hog Monkey Rampage, match the odds. And then Ostrich Horse. I just love Saber Tooth Moose Lion. What are we doing with these creatures? I know they're from the actual show, but it's just funny the combinations. Turtle Duck as well, and then Thriving Grove. So that's going to do it. What cards I'm most excited about are likely going to be this version of Zuko right here. I think is very, very fun, potentially very good. Other than that, remains to be seen. I don't know if any of these cards are too insane, but they are at least very interesting. And if I end up wanting to make some bending decks, I'm definitely going to pick this one up. Let me know if you are interested in scooping the Avatar set in the comments down below. If you are going to pick up the beginner box, what cards are you most or least excited about within it? I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments down below. My name is Jopa. Have a good one. I'll catch you all later.